A couple of players from the '64 championship team turned professional after their years at St. Mary's. Our next player spent a number of years with the Montreal Alouettes. He was, without question, one of the hardest hitting players on the defensive side of the ball. He was so good, and he alone was allowed to play any position he wanted to on the defense. That was an honor granted very, very few by head coach Bob Hayes. Don Murphy, why would Bob Hayes allow you to do that, do you think? I know you were good, but did you think you were that good that you could play any place you wanted to on the defensive side of the ball?
The only thing was that, and Bob knew about this, that in high school, I was allowed to be a rover by Jack Poole, my high school coach. So that's where I got in the first experience of doing that kind of thing. So with Hayes, it was much easier because you watched game films and you watched, you took a look at the results from previous games so that you could tell the tendencies and build on that.
Why do you think that '64 team was so special and was able to beat X in Antigonish and then win the Atlantic Bowl by defeating McMaster?
Well, one of the big things was the camaraderie we had on the team, in the team, and that's shown by the number of people that we've got this weekend. And that has a positive effect on the ability of the team to go forward. I was able to do some coaching later, and it's very important to have kids that are enjoying. It's a game, and for the kids to enjoy the game and get some coaching with it as well, it improves the caliber of the ability of the kids in the sport.
You sent a number of players that you coached at the junior level to St. Mary's. You didn't hesitate to do that. Why?
Well, I had such a good feeling about the school myself and the friends that I have had, lifelong friends now, that I felt that they, it would be nice for them to get the same kind of experience and play good caliber football with good coaching.
What do you remember about that day that we won the Atlantic Bowl?
The biggest thing I remember was at the end of the game, the people rushing on the field. And the happiness that I had never had that experience.
In all the years that you had played rugby, you had never experienced that?
Rugby, I had a few times when I did experience that kind of thing. I played for the Windsor Rugby Club, and again, lifelong friends. But in one game, I was able to score a try in the third period of overtime, and that was pretty special. And it was to win the tournament, which was the Rose City tournament in 1965 or 6 or something like that.
Obviously, besides football, your first love was rugger. You started as a youngster. You finally hung up the boots at age 71. What enabled you to play for that length of time?
Probably that we had 4 doctors on the team. Those guys stitched me up on park benches, picnic tables, the trunks of cars. So I had a lot of good help along the way, but it was fun. I mean, rugby was probably the most enjoyable time of my life in sports. And I still have many, many good friends from that team today.
You played football at a very high level. You were very successful. You played rugby all over the world. What role did Bob Hayes play in your life as an athlete that made you as good as you were?
Well, one of the big things about Bob, and I remember him coming to, I had a summer job at the Chrysler truck plant in Windsor. And Chuck Liebrock showed up at the gate when I was getting off work one day. And I knew Chuck, I played high school ball against him. And he had come to St. Mary's for a year. And behind him was this other guy with a big chest and shoulders. And it was Bob Hayes. So I took Bob and back to I was raised by an aunt and uncle, and took him back to our house. And my uncle played pretty high level of football and hockey back in the 1920s. So he met Bob. We sat down, and Bob showed a film of the school and the team. And when he left, my uncle said, "That's where you're going."
Tell me how you got here to St. Mary's that first time.
I went down to the Windsor train station, and the train pulled up, and then it started moving away. And I thought to myself, "Murphy, what the hell are you doing now?" Anyway, I got on the train. Along the way, I met a group of kids from Cape Breton, and that was an experience all of its own. And then I got to the Nova Scotian Hotel, and Dan Scaling met me downstairs in the train station. And from there, I went to the residence, and of course, 7 o'clock the next morning, on the field for practice. And at the end of the practice, and we're all sweat pouring out of us, and I talked to the guy next to me, and I said, "Anything to do tonight?" He said, "Actually, there's a dance out at Hubbard's." I said, "Well, okay, I'm in." So this guy said, "Well, there's a curfew." And in all seriousness, I responded by saying, "What's a curfew?" I had no idea. Anyway, we went to that, had a great time, had many other visits, and Daryl and I became best friends. We're still best friends, and we fortunately see each other every couple of years or something.
This team got together 25 years after the championship, 50 years, and now 60 years. Why do you think that is?
The camaraderie we had on the team, the closeness. We still stay in touch with each other. We're interested in how people are doing. We went to see Frankie in the hospital.
Connie, good talking to you.